Hey guys, thanks for joining us. I am joined, you can see, by the lovely and talented Valeria Jimenez tonight.
Hey everyone. Hi.
Valeria is not only my good friend, but also I call an entrepreneur extraordinaire because she is a jewelry designer and she is opening a juicery and you're a health coach. You've had many businesses, and so I admire you.
Thank you.
And she gives me such encouragement, so I know she will give you encouragement too, which is why I asked her to be on this video with us tonight.
Thank you.
So I mentioned to you guys, we're going to talk about what would you do if you couldn't fail, right? Like, what a question. You could also think of it as, what would you do if you weren't afraid, right? We're talking about our fears here. And this is something I try to keep in mind, and I try to ask myself and answer it, so I just overcome those fears and seize it. So what would you do if you couldn't fail, Valeria?
Well, I think for me, personally, I would write down every single desire that I have. I would write down every dream that I've ever dreamt, and I would just start knocking them out. I wouldn't pause. I wouldn't hold back. I would just go after every single venture that I've ever thought of, and I would probably come up with more. I just keep going.
Is that basically what you're doing right now?
Kind of.
All these different businesses is on a list, and you're just checking them off.
Kind of, yeah. I life is so fun. It's so exciting when you really believe that what you need and what you want is within hand's reach. If you really believe that the money is there, if you really believe that the resources are there, the people are there, it's amazing how things just fall into place. So for me, I live and I practice and I teach that do it. Just do it. And yes, we all have fears. Everyone has fears. I have fears. I wouldn't be a human if I didn't. But when you just face that fear and you say, you know what, that just means I'm doing something right. That just means that I'm on the right track. That just means that something good is on the other side of my fear.
Totally.
It's amazing. It just happens. It just happens.
I just listened to an interview with Stephen Colbert yesterday, and he said something about if you're not nervous, then you're not doing something right.
Yeah, like, I agree.
If you feel nerves, then yes, you're on the right track.
Yep.
You're on your way to success. You're on your way to pursuing your dream.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. I see. Hi, Elvia. Hi, Lucy.
Mom.
And hi, Kristen. Thanks for joining us live. Yeah, always good to have mom support, right?
Always.
My mom joined me last week too live.
I love it.
So for me, if I couldn't fail for my business, as I've shared with you all, I do suffer from that imposter syndrome. And there's so many other people, other public speaking coaches out there, and so many other just online consultants and coaches out there, that there is such a process I'm learning to building my business online. Yeah. And I've been working on this project for you all, this free, really cool checklist to help you build your presentation content. And I've been refining it and picking at it and asking everybody their opinions, and I've been sitting on it because I'm afraid to just get it out there. And then once I get it out there, what are the steps afterwards I have to take? I have to keep in touch with you via email. So yeah, I just need to do it, right?
Yeah.
And something that I keep in mind too, and that I've shared with you all in a lot of other videos is just done is better than perfect, oftentimes. And I like to say done is better than, usually better than perfect.
It's true.
Always. So that helps motivate me.
Yeah, that's actually, it's a good point, because that's actually kept me from doing things in the past. I am not afraid a lot. I really am not.
You are quite fearless, which I admire.
And I do tend to just go after something, but it's because once I've decided that I love something and I want to do it, I am so convinced that it's going to work that you can't shake me. But as we were talking before, I have other desires, things that I haven't yet accomplished. I would love to launch a fashion line. And it's been a dream for over 10 years. I've actually talked about launching a fashion line ever since I was about 20 years old, and I haven't done it. Because there is fear. There's fear of, okay, so where am I going to get the fabrics, the textiles. Where am I going to get the manufacturing? Where am I going to sell it? Am I going to make enough in wholesale? Am I going to make enough in retail? There's a lot of questions. But at the same time, I know that I am going to do it. In the meantime, if you are facing fears and if you are looking at a plan, if you are looking at a goal or a project and it just doesn't seem to click, it doesn't seem to take the next step and come to life, go after something that does make sense to you. Go after the next dream. Because I guarantee if you have one dream, you have more than two. So go after something that is easy for you, because when you do something and you realize, oh, I can do this, then all of a sudden you build the connections, the network, and you also realize that it is possible.
The momentum.
Can do it. And it is.
And the confidence.
And you get on that roll and you get on that wheel and it just starts turning and turning and turning. So for me, I will launch the fashion line. Maybe not today, but I will do it. And it's not going to be perfect. Like anything else, social media, marketing, or a business, or a juicery. There will be mistakes. There will be flaws. But having something to give to people is better than giving them nothing.
Right.
So that's kind of what I focus on.
And we wouldn't be doing ourselves, nor the public, our clients, our customers justice if we didn't pursue our talents and these dreams and what we have to offer. Right?
I agree.
And I have a deeper dream too that I want to share, that if I knew I couldn't fail, I would pursue my dream of continuing to be a video storyteller, a journalist, and traveling the world telling stories about voluntourism. And that's a passion that I have had, and I've done these amazing trips, gone to Indonesia and to Southeast Asia to help people, whether it's teaching English or working at an orphanage. And I haven't done this in a long time, in several years. So it's a piece of my soul that I feel like is empty. And I love to share those stories. And I want to capture stories of other people doing that around the world too, to show how enlightened they are and how much they appreciate their home and our lives here, how privileged we are, and to see how the lives of people in Africa or Southeast Asia, these third world countries, have changed too, based on what we're able to offer, whether it's water filtration or English language skills or sports camps. So yeah, I would love to pursue that dream. If I knew I couldn't fail, if money wasn't an object, that's what I would do.
I love Jessica because she's always dreaming, always dreaming. And we have so much fun. I could talk to this one forever and ever because you have a passion for so many things. And I've told so many people, and I've told my clients, I've told my friends that if it's a dream, it's because you were made to do it. That is a dream in you for a reason. I don't have the same dreams that you have. You don't have the same dreams as I have. You don't have the same dreams that I do. There's a reason. Everyone has a special dream, and it's because you were called to do that dream. And you don't have to have the answers. You don't have to know right from wrong. You don't have to know A from B. You don't have to know yes from no. You just have to know, this is my dream, this is my calling, this is my purpose, and I'm going to find a way. If I lose a little sleep, if I get a couple wrinkles or a few gray hairs, it's going to be worth it because it means that I am fulfilling my dream.
Right. And I at least tried, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You want to live a life without regrets, so at least try.
Yep.
And what I'm learning too is if I don't know the answers, try it, fail fast, and move on. Yep. Learn from those lessons.
Absolutely.
So I see other people have joined us. So thanks, Jaime. Thanks, Catherine, Ilse, and Nick for tuning in live. So those are hopefully some inspirational tidbits for you all. If you have a passion that you are not ready yet to pursue, hopefully this gives you some motivation. Okay. I also want to talk about, with Valeria, some networking tips for you all too, because she is a master networker. And dude, when we are
the master networker,
when we're together at a networking event, there's no stopping us.
Magic.
It's such a great tag team, right?
We are.
So Valeria, she is really great at just approaching people and talking with them. So give us some of those tips, whether it's for extroverted people like us or for introverts.
Okay, well, spoken from a genius herself, and it's true, it is easy to network with this one. One thing I always focus on, the easiest way to make friends, to connect with people, is to put them first. When you walk into a room, I can understand how it can be intimidating and uncomfortable to look at a bunch of strange faces and think, where do I even begin?
For me too.
Yeah.
I've been in many of those situations.
And for me as well. I am 90% extroverted. I've taken the test. I am. But there is that 10% introvert inside of me that holds back and thinks, what do I have in common with any of these people? But when you think about that person, that everyone else is feeling the exact same way you are, everybody is at some point a little uncomfortable.
True.
When you think about them and you look around and you just kind of get a vibe for maybe who else needs to talk to someone, who needs a friend, who could use a smile, who could use some encouragement. It's amazing when you take the pressure off of yourself and the focus off of yourself and you actually put it on to everyone else. It's really easy to talk to people because then you're doing them a service and not yourself.
Good point. So what are some phrases you might use to open up that door in that conversation?
So I am a fashion fiend. I love clothing. I love accessories. I love jewelry. Valeria jewelry. I love shoes, handbags. I say go with what you love. If you love fashion, if you're a girly girl like the two of us, compliment someone. Look around, just look at the floor. What shoes stand out to you? Go to that person. Oh my God, I love your shoes. Be authentic. Yeah. I am not a person who's going to give a compliment just because I don't lie. I don't like to lie. But if I like your shoes, I'm going to make sure that you know that I love your shoes. Hey, you know what? I think I saw you at a hair salon. Hey, who do you go to? And find something in common. If you're a man, hey, I saw you at the golf club, or hey, something. Find something that makes you comfortable. Talk about something that you have in common. And for the introverts, we've talked about this before. It's harder to really get out of your shell. But first of all, just compliment yourself and give yourself some credit for showing up.
Exactly.
Because a lot of introverts will never leave their comfort zone. You came to the party. You came to the mixer. You came to that group meeting. You showed up. So give yourself some credit and say, wow, I got out of my shell. And if you cannot talk to people, if you're going to stay in your corner, then keep going. Just keep going, because eventually someone or you will be comfortable enough to go talk to people. Jessica's always said that the great thing to do for introverts is to go find the president or the vice president or an ambassador. Find someone who's leading the show, leading the movement, because they will talk to you.
They'll love to talk to you about their club. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's an easy way to approach someone if you don't know anyone there. Hi, Patty. Thanks for joining us. And I think, too, you had mentioned, we had talked about before, tag teaming. Yeah. If you can go with someone else to a networking event, especially if you're introverted, it's a huge help, because then you can introduce each other, you can brag about each other, talk about each other's businesses, which we do. And it doesn't come off as being a braggart. It might, depending on how you say it, about your own self and your own business. So anything else you'd want to share when it comes to networking and
I think that the key is to look at it as having fun. You have to have fun. If you go and you think of it as business, you're going to want to leave so fast. The times that I go to networking events and I think of it as I have to be here for business, I leave within 10 minutes. The times I go and I'm like, I can't wait to run in to my friends and catch up with people, I stay and I close that house down. So when you go and you actually think about, this is a great chance to really connect with some cool people. Jessica and I met at a networking group and we've been friends ever since, and we're good friends. And that's what you get to look forward to going to these events, is that no matter what, everyone has that one thing in common. So you could end up finding some really genuine people who will not only help you and strengthen you in your future, but they're just going to add a lot of fun times to your life.
Totally. It could be a great friend or it could be a client. So
it could be anything.
You just have to be open to those possibilities. Absolutely. Even if it's having a goal of meeting one person that night at that event. Yeah. Give yourself kudos, a pat on the back right there. Thank you, Allie, for joining us. I see ya. Hi, Patty. All right. Thank you for joining us, Valeria. That was so insightful and inspirational. Like I said, every time I talk to her, I feel just like passionate and like I'm ready to seize the world.
Seize it.
And thank you all for tuning in. Please leave us your comments and questions, and we'd be happy to answer and let you know some more, give you some more inspiration, quotes, etc. So, here's Cooper. Cooper's here to say hi. Hi. All right. Bye, everyone, and we'll see you next week.